Oops. Whoops. What's happening, everyone? What's going on? It is that day again. It is Monday. What's up? Thank God it's over. It's been a long day. Oh, man. Obviously, I can't get my videos right, so we'll just put that away for right now. Oh, man. Well, what a week it's been. What a week it's shaping up to be. Gotta love it. Oh, man. Some of you might have seen little snippets of how my day went. It was all right. Oh, man. A lot of stuff done over the weekend, through the week. Just a lot of stuff done. Progress is moving big time on that 40-gallon breeder. And if you haven't seen the follow-up video to my boring snore fest, Lady Metalhead's channel, you'll have to check that out. But she put a video up of that, and I think there might even be another one in the works regarding that tank. But so far, so good. It's moving along pretty decent. And we got some more salty friends. And one of them's a gigantic jerk. I have a really hard time getting that one on video, but I'll talk more about him in a little bit. Well, let's go through the list. Let's say hi to everybody. And if I'm not myself, I'm sorry. It's just back pain's really kicking in right now. So, but we're going to try and get through this. So, looks like coming in first, we got Craig's Catfish Cave. What's up, Craig? How we doing, buddy? G'day. And then we got the one and only Jason Hierstead, who's usually here, but he's not tonight. And I totally get it. Because I don't know how long I'm going tonight. What's happening, buddy? How you doing? Looks like we got Jesse in here. I think. Yeah.
Salient?
Yeah. See?
That's Jesse.
Haha.
Yes.
It's easier for me to remember that. What's happening, buddy? Good seeing you. He's over here stealing stuff off of Marketplace. 2 FX6s for the price of one.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Heck yeah. That's a deal. And then we got Saints Dust popping in. What's happening, Saints Dust? How you doing? Gabriel's Glass Box. It's good seeing you, buddy. How you doing? The Nano Aquarium guy. What's happening, Nano? Good seeing you. Good seeing you. And then we got Skull. What's happening, Skull? How we doing? Oh, man. Can't forget the one and only whippersnapper himself. What's happening, Whipsrilled? Getting tanked as usual. Oh, let's see. Looks like IHSP's in the house. What's up, Steph? How we doing? Oh, man. Vibes Aquatics sneaking in. What's happening, Vibes? How's it going, buddy? Okay, I think I might be... Oh, nope. Paul McCarthy snuck in, too. How's it going, Paul? Good seeing you. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh, man, I'm not even... Jeez. You know, you take a week off and you can't get through the chat. That's... Sandy's in the house. What's happening, Sandy? How we doing? Good seeing you. Hope I didn't miss anyone. It's jumping on me here. Cat Hair Crafts. What's happening, Cat Hair? Mountain Greenery. Good seeing you. Haven't seen you in a while. Or I haven't, just don't remember it. That's a possibility, too. Let's see. Sharkfin Adventures. What's happening, Sharkfin? How we doing? I think I'm through it. I think. Oh, I just saw Jesse's asking how I hurt my back. Okay. So, this is how I can tell I'm getting old. We all know I've been working on that old classic boat. I have a little step ladder to climb into the thing because it's on a trailer and blah, 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 blah. Well, anyways, I was getting out of the boat, literally not doing anything fancy, just stepped off the stool. The very last step, when I stepped off, I don't know, I must have turned my back or something, and I'm pretty sure I pinched a nerve. That happened last or about almost 2 weeks ago. And everything was getting better, getting better and getting better. Well, today, I kind of figured I was going to have some trouble because I had to do some tires on a pickup truck. They were not exactly light. And the way I had the truck in the air, I probably could have had it down lower, and I chose not to. So I'm slinging these big 80-pounders or whatever they weigh in the air. It was a huge nightmare. So yeah, the back flared back up again. And I knew it was going to happen, and I still did it anyways. So just because I'm older doesn't mean I'm not stupid. So, yeah, there's how the old back went to crap on me. So, I don't know. I'm trying to avoid going to a chiropractor. I just don't like it. They bend you and twist you funny and make things pop that sounds like an old kung fu movie where they, like, snap necks and stuff. Yeah. It's not fun. Yeah. But, I'll try not to be stupid the rest of the week, and I'll get it sorted back out again. Oh man, I think I saw Crown Tail pop in. What's happening, Crown Tail? How you doing? Good seeing you. Mark Sturlson, what's happening, buddy? Let's see. Oh man, this is get one of those deep tissue massagers. You know, I've been thinking about it. And I should probably stop thinking about it and just do it already. Then after the tire debacle, I decided to pull a fuel tank out of one of our work trucks because the pump failed in a weird way. It usually doesn't fail this way. At least I haven't seen one fail this way in quite a while. It's got something wrong with the pump itself, and then after I got the tank down, I think I know why it's bleeding off pressure. I don't think it's... I'm pretty sure the rot that's under this thing is why it was bleeding off pressure, but it was having a hard time starting. It still ran. But after I got the tank down, that was a nightmare in itself. Of course, when a fuel pump fails, it never fails when the tank is empty or low. No, they always fail when they're full. So I had to drain quite a bit of gas out of that. That's not a big deal. But trying to get the lock ring off this pump is like trying to open a window on the Titanic right now. It's not happening. So that's fun. But I do have some footage. If I can play the right one this time, of what I'm dealing with tomorrow. Yummy. Yippee-ki-yay. Oh, she's fine. Yeah, that's supposed to happen. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so for those of you that's wondering what you were looking at there's what you can't see when your fuel tank's in the way. And if you notice that one bracket that's completely missing, yeah, I get to make a new one. And then hopefully find some nice fresh steel to weld that to. So I'll be getting the Zap box out tomorrow and Zeusing some new panels into there. The frame's actually, the video makes it look worse than it really is. The frame's not rotted all the way through. It's just, it's starting because these trucks, they're for pond treatments. So there's a lot of harsh chemicals that leak out of those because, I don't know, people spill them or whatever. And they just, that stuff gets down into the frame. It gets in the fuel tank, messes everything up. And I got to go back in there and try to straighten it all out. This one's savable though, definitely savable. And if I just thought about it. Well, no, because that frame's rotted too. I can't do that. Never mind. I'll just make a new bracket. They do offer brand new pre-made ones. It's just a case of I want to get the truck running tomorrow, and if I have to wait 2 or 3 days or whatever, it's gonna suck because that's just stuck in there and I can't do anything with it. So I think I'll just I'll go ahead and make something work. Let's see. Did we get a Kyle in here? We did. What's happening, Kyle? Jaded, good seeing you, buddy. Now, what's sad is his truck is probably, I don't know, 20, 30 years older than this truck that I'm working on, and he has less rot. Oh, man. Oh, man. Saints Dust working on 2 old cars, and they both need fuel tanks and pumps. Yeah, it's a thing, man. If they get parked for a long time, something nobody thinks about, especially if they're parking them outside, is they hardly ever drain the tanks. And all that just sits in there. And the old tanks used to be metal, so that just rots away. The fuel lines were metal. Nowadays, you got a mix of metal and plastic or nylon, and it's just, you can still get crap in there. And the fuel sucks. The fuel of today versus the fuel of yesterday is horrible. The ethanol content is so high in today's fuel, it's a joke. So all that ethanol is doing some nasty stuff inside your engine, inside your tank, inside your lines. You don't really see it in the lines too much, but in the tank you get it. Fuel rails are a big common problem now because of all that ethanol swelling up crap and just turning into jello. Yeah, it's a thing. But hey, job security. Because as long as those things are on the road, there's a guy like me that has to keep them on the road. So, oh man. Let's see. Ooh, something else I did over the weekend. I got in on the little auction action at Squippers. It's Skipper's Aquarium or Skipper's channel. What was that? Saturday night?
Yes.
And we've got a couple new guys heading our way. If I can bring a picture. Now, these are not the ones I'm getting from Jennifer Weaver. But these are what they are. I don't know how well anybody can see this. I don't know how to make that zoom. But in my opinion, Jennifer Weaver's have a lot better color than these guys. So when I saw them, it got a little steamy in there because they didn't go for cheap, but I wasn't letting them go. So I want them. So they will be coming. Probably see them. Hopefully between Wednesday and Thursday-ish. So I'll do some video on them when we get them in, and hopefully they show up when I get home. That'd be awesome. Yeah, but if not, we'll have to get some footage somehow. I will make it happen. So, but that's gonna happen. Let's see. What do I see? Oh, just stuff I follow. John's here. What's happening, buddy? Vinoski made it in too. What's up, Vinoski? Oh, man, oh, man. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I'm sorry. But doesn't look like I did. So, yeah, we got those coming. And the plan with those guys, I want to put them in the cube tank. I think they'll do just fine in there. My biggest fear is with all the foliage in there, I'll probably never see them again. That's my biggest fear. But I could be wrong. Let's see. Jesse says they were really pretty. Yeah, I wasn't letting them go. I once I saw when they popped the video of them up there, I'm like, oh man, yeah, this is happening. you know. Yeah, and it didn't take long for him to jump. And then the one that Doc did as well, man, that thing went for big bugs. And if I'm understanding it right, they don't have a name for it yet.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff went on that. So that also brought me to another thing. And I see Fish Fam popped in here. What's happening, Fish Fam Link? How we doing? With all these Red Devil I got, I'm just kind of wondering, maybe I should keep a few of those out and maybe put them in the auction. I don't know if there'd be any interest on that or not, but test the water, see. If not, then, well, they can go across the street. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Saints Dust got the plants. I saw that. That was a big lot of plants, too.
Yeah.
What was that, like 14?
Yeah.
13 or 14? Yeah.
14.
Keystone Clash. Clashy's in the house. What's happening, Clashy? How we doing?
Yeah, bring it to them. How come they haven't announced that we registered for the Clash?
Oh, yeah. We are officially registered, I think.
We are. I got the receipt saying they got our money, so.
All right. Well, in that case, we are registered. And I'm working on it, but I think we can hit that old 500 mark. I really think. Just checked today. We are up to 395. So, I'm thinking maybe 5 more. Might just have to do another giveaway. Might just have to. Did one at, what, 2? Or was that 300? I did one at 2 and 300.
Oh, I don't know.
I'd have to look, but I'm pretty sure I did one at, I think I did one at 100 too. Why not do one at 400? What the hell? Why not? And then if we hit 500, definitely doing one. So, yeah. But I think that little goal is attainable. And I do believe we can hit that. And to anybody that might wonder, if you're also trying to get up there, shorts. They're not kidding when they say make shorts. Looks like Eduardo popped in. What's happening, buddy? Good seeing you. Let's see. Whip said, did they auction off anything cool or just a bunch of tiny fish? The ones you hooked yourself up with were the coolest I've seen so far. There was actually quite a few cool fish in there. And also, Lady Rorschach made an Oscar, like a little statue.
She did a sign, too.
And she made a sign. Those were pretty cool. There were some shrimp in there, too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember what kind. The blue ones were really nice.
There were blue dreams.
Blue dreams. And Caradinas, I think. Yeah.
Carradina of some kind, but I can't remember.
Looks like Melvin popped in here. What's happening, Melvin? Good seeing you.
But I do know there were blue dreams.
Peplin, what's happening, Peplin? See, everybody's hearing you, but they're not seeing you. Oh, let's see. Did I miss anybody on the Facebook's side? I don't know why I just now thought to look at that. Doesn't appear that I did, so we are good. Oh, man. Sorry, I gotta move. Mark Sturlson said Lady R's sign was way better than cool. I think you got that, didn't you? I think he did.
Was it the sign? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know somebody got the sign and then somebody else got the Oscar and they got it
I
hoping
thought-
June would want it.
I can't remember who got the other one. Let's see. Whip says, I can't do small stuff. Small fish, snail, shrimp. It would all get gobbled up. Yep.
That part.
Yeah, that's the problem when you have the big tanks.
Yep.
I feel your pain. I think they were just. No, I'm not even gonna try. I remember the Metallicus part.
Yeah.
Metallicus. I just kept saying Metallica. I almost went. I did bid on those, but I quickly got outbid. I think I did, yeah. Because I was like, oh, come on. They were fish that were. I saw Metallica in it. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, they yeah, I kind of had to reel back after mine. So, but no, that was a lot of fun. I got to do that again.
There you go.
She said, no, I don't. But yeah, no, it was a good time, and we also picked it. Well, I guess I should go back to the subject of the saltwater tank. I don't think I didn't. I have video of jerkfish, but I didn't upload it into here. So, let's see.
Oh, of the trigger?
Yeah.
He is a jerk.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've got we picked up a blue Niger trigger. Real pretty fish, but he's a huge jerk, and he buried himself. So he only comes out when there's food, and as long as nobody's around the tank.
Oh,
Everybody said discus would be skittish fish. This fish
uh-huh.
is a chicken.
Very much so.
But we also got a couple firefish. I think that's what those are, yeah.
Yep.
Firefish, they're pretty. I still have to get some video of them yet. I did lose one of my Picassos. I think he got stuck in that weird coral rock that I have in the corner of the tank. I don't know if he got stuck and freaked out or what the deal was. But he didn't make it, or she didn't make it.
It was the female. I confirmed it. Definitely it was the female.
But it just so happened that there was another fish where she works that lost its mate, was now in that tank, and they're swimming around doing clownfish stuff. So, so I think they'll be okay.
They changed their sex to become a natural pair.
Yeah, they're hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned. I got Turbo, the Mexican turbo snail.
You have mentioned him.
2 damsels in there, and then the 3 green chromis, and then the skunk shrimp. I think that's what they're called.
Skunk cleaner. Yeah.
Skunk cleaner. Let's see.
Which we have to get more of, because clearly he just cannot keep up with the tank.
Well, he's also a jerk.
Well, that too.
And then the arrowhead crab, who is also a jerk.
I have no clue where.
Pretty much everybody in that tank's a jerk. The bicolor angel is being a jerk right now, in fact.
To the shrimp.
To the shrimp.
Cute.
That's crabby. Oh, man. Saints Dust says, guy selling a full setup for salt and 10 clownfish, all in a 50-gallon. He says they are tearing each other apart, all for $150 or sold in 5 minutes. Ow. Yeah. Saltwater stuff doesn't last long, man.
No.
Jesse's asking, how long do you think a sponge filter needs to run in an established to get it seated so I can insta-cycle a QT tank?
A sponge?
Yeah, it all really depends. Man, if it's a good established tank, it shouldn't take it long, I wouldn't think. Within a few days. Maybe a couple of weeks, tops.
Is the QT tank going to have sand in it, or is it going to be a bare bottom?
Yeah, it's like, well, I would imagine QT's probably just going to be bare bottom.
Because if it's bare bottom with just a sponge, and the sponge
The bacteria
is in
would-
another tank,
The bacteria would probably
it'll all be in the
seed
sponge,
that.
so it should be fine. Yeah. Depending on how long the sponge has been in the bare bottom tank.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends. I mean,
There's a lot that factors in there.
if you've got the sponge up and running, now if you just set it in like I do, it'll take forever. But if it's up and running and pulling, shouldn't take it very long at all, I wouldn't think. I wouldn't go after a few days, like I said, and just stick it in there and be like, okay, everything's good. No, I would probably try to cheat the seeding on that a little bit. Get some live bacteria, toss it in there. It's not going to hurt the tank, but it would help mix that in and get that in there quicker. But it definitely, for sure, a couple months. But I'm thinking within a couple weeks you'd probably be good enough, just if you're only going to run like a 5 or a 10 gallon, or maybe a 20. Might be pushing it a little bit. But yeah, especially if you're dosing it with stability, yeah. It won't take it very long. Let's see. Jimmy P. I think I saw a Jimmy P sneak in. I did see a Jimmy P. How you doing, buddy? Says about 4 years. Well, that's when you get them good and seeded.
If it's been in that tank for 4 years, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, a lot of times what I'll do too is I'll take them and I'll just throw them in the pool and let them sink. Just let them sit in there. Again, it helps to run them, but if you're not in a hurry and don't need them, toss them in there, and with the pool, man, there's no substrate in that, so it's going to go after whatever it can latch onto, and there's not much other than what's in the filter that it can latch to. So I like your arrow. I like him too. He's a jerk, but he's my jerk. And he has picked up size. It actually, oddly enough, won't be long, and he's going to have to go in the pool, which sucks. He is almost 18 inches. Almost. And I don't want him to have to struggle to turn around like Split had to. So once he crosses that barrier of being too long, what I would consider too long, he's going to go down in the pool also. Let's see. Whip says, DIY prime guy, dude. If I bring a car jack down and lift up my 150 up, what would I use to shim it level on a basement floor that leaks multiple times a year or more if you count overflowing the tank? Man, you know what? You could get some thick, like porcelain tiles. I know that sounds weird, but I've got little tile squares, which tend to be a little bit stronger than the bigger squares.
It's backsplash tile.
Backsplash tile, there you go. That stuff's pretty sturdy. I've actually got some of it under the cube. And down in the basement, to even out the 75, I've got it in there. Because my floor's, perfectly straight. So let's see. So yeah, I would suggest that. And we've got this store that I like to go to here. It's where they sell all recycled stuff, or donated stuff. And man, you can get some killer deals in there. And if you don't care about the stuff matching, if you're using it for a little project or wanting to level something out like that, and you really don't care if anything matches because it's going to be hidden anyways, perfect thing. You just go and you can get sheets of these porcelain squares. They're only about yay big, but they're on a 12 by 12 sheet, and you can just rip them off. Super easy. Get the glue wet, or the little backing wet, and just pluck it right off of there. Oh, looks like Clark's mini fish room popped in. What's happening, Clark? How we doing? Let's see. 4 bottle jacks with the foam at each coil. Hey, that's not a bad idea. You could just make an L bracket frame, set it on top of the bottle jacks, and set your tank on top of that, and just kind of lift them to accommodate. That's actually not a half bad idea. All right, good seeing you, Vibes. Have a good night, buddy. Oh, man. Jesse says, so 3 days or 2 months? Me personally, with that filter, I would give it like 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, and then go from there. But if you need it sooner than that, just heavily dose it with some live bacteria. The other thing you can do is, too, you can go ahead and put it in the QT tank, and then if you've got multiple tanks, like, hang on the back, so you can just squeeze the media out in the tank itself and let the filter pull it in. That's another thing you can do.
You can feed the tank too, even with nothing in it.
Yeah, you can feed the tank too.
Just
I don't mean like dump a whole bottle in there, but you can put just a couple pinches in and let the food sit. That will help. I know it sounds horrible, but it works. But to be safe, especially if you're not needing the QT tank right away, give it 2 weeks. But if you're needing it right away, like I said, you can cheat a little bit. You know, if you've got one that's been in there for a few days or whatever, take it out. Or if you're dosing it with like Prime or something like that, and then just take and wring some filters out in the tank itself and let it pull it in, and I think you'll be okay. Not sure I have the clearance for a bottle jack, but I'll look into that. Yeah, QT tanks, you can get away with quite a bit in those too, mainly because they're getting treated a lot more than any other tanks anyways. So, you know, if you've got a fish you're treating for, let's just say ick or something like that, you're going to have me, it's just salt and heat, unless I need to put some sort of chemical in there. But if you're treating for some sort of bacteria or whatever, there's so much stuff getting put in there anyways. Ouch. Oh, okay, I can't sit like that. Looks like M&C Aquatics made it in. What's happening, buddy? Daniel Velez, good seeing you. Long time no see, buddy. We got window liquor number 5 in the house. What's happening? Oh, man. But yeah, with the quarantine tanks, you almost could just start one. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Especially if you're putting brand new fish in there that let's just say you just spent a lot of money on them, you kind of don't want them dying. So, or if you've got one that you're like, oh man, this one's got to go in there. It's easier to treat them, especially if you got larger tanks. Quarantine tanks are a must. That way you can just segregate the one fish that needs the treatment, and you don't have to try and go through 18 bottles of whatever to dose a tank that big, you know. Yeah. If you have to have a quarantine tank, immediately do a water change and vac every... Yeah, pretty much. That's definitely going to help. Yeah, Steph's got a good question for Whip there, I think. If he's trying to lift the tank with water in it to level it, yeah.
That sounds like disaster waiting to happen.
Well, depending on how your stand is, as long as your stand's open, like if it's a custom built stand and you can get something in there to brace the stand a little bit, you can put a bottle jack under there. I saw something. I'm trying to think what it was now. What he needs is some sort of plate he can slide under it and kind of,
Yeah.
you know. I'm sure I could come up with something. Well, let's see here. Uh-oh. Chat jumped on me. Freaky Fish Lady made it. What's happening? How are we doing? Hope I didn't miss anybody else.
But if you did.
If I did, I'm sorry. You can yell at me in the chat. Let's see. M&C says, glad you figured that stand out. You know, it was so dumb. Literally, all I had to do. I probably could have just started with that and saved about 45 minutes of time. But all I had to do was just loosen up one leg and wedge it a little bit. There we go. But, hey, I got to make a video and I had fun doing it, so I guess that's what really matters. But I am very glad that I got that stand figured out, because just the way, I don't know how good you could see it. I don't think in the video you could see it real good, but man, just in person, the whole tank's like doing this number, and I'm like, man, I don't know about that. Whip says it's about 3/4 of an inch off. Ah, so's that.
And it's not, that one's one of the few that's not leveled, is it?
Nope, this one's off, that one's off, that one's off. They're all off. What I have to do is actually lift the floor a little bit, which I haven't done that yet because I don't want to get into the crawl space because I don't like it in there. You think poly shims get mashed over time? They probably will, but it's going to take a long time. Polyurethane, they'll wear out in a vehicle faster than they will on that, I would imagine. But I think that over time they would probably just get squished a little bit. Let's see, cherry picker, yeah. Ooh. Stand was collapsed and holding door shut. Ooh, that's not good. What is your floor made from? As in your house floor? My pal had to level it and went off again. Yeah, it's the house floor. So we believe that some of this room might have actually been added on at one time. And it's an old house, so over time it'll settle. And I just have to get in the crawl space and put some, I don't know what you want to call them, I guess floor jacks. And just slip them in there and spin them and have somebody in the house with a level, and kind of, it's a pain in the ass progress that I really don't want to do, or process, but I'm going to have to. Kind of don't have a choice. I don't really want anything collapsing. That would be bad. Very bad. Oh, man. Let's see. Yeah, metal shims. There you go. Just measure out the distance you need and make one. Or maybe measure out the distance and what you need, and maybe somebody who has a lot of scrap metal and a couple zap boxes can maybe make them and send them. Just saying. Not gonna name names, but I'm just saying I know a guy. Oh man. So the wood ones, yeah, the wooden shims would just soak water with getting spilled. The poly, I don't think the poly would really be too damaged by being wet all the time. It'd just be over time it'll squish down. Oh, man. Whip says his guys are so feisty. Everybody's pretty chill for the moment. It's almost scary.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that'll change in a matter of minutes. Big washers, but you don't want to risk them getting slippy. I wouldn't be horribly worried about them slipping out. Oh, looks like Alan made it in. What's happening, Alan? Oh, man. We are... Wow. It's been almost an hour already. Huh. Well, if I made it this long, I think I could make it 19 more minutes. So, yeah. I put a... I don't know if anybody saw it. I put a poll on the... I don't know why I said it like that. Put a poll on my community tab because I bitched about not having a community tab forever, and now I have one and never use it. So I figured I might as well try to use it, and we'll feel it out here. But you know, I was kind of thinking about maybe just blocking off some of the Red Devil fry and maybe doing adding them into an auction sometime, not anytime soon. Just I didn't know if there'd be any interest in it. Basically because they are Red Devils, so they're a larger fish, or will be. Just a thing. I don't know. If there's any interest, maybe I will. If not, like I said, I'll take them across the street. But I figured I'd give you guys the first crack at them before I take them over there. So, if there's any interest, check out that poll. Maybe hit a yes or no there, whatever. But, like I said, trying to get into using the old community tab more. Whip still doesn't have his community tab. I wonder why. Because by now it should have updated, and I think you just had to get a new phone, so you definitely should have the new or the latest features, I would imagine. Oh man. I will tell you probably the crappiest stand I have ever gotten. The poorest built stand was the one for the 150 that I have Frankie in. That thing, I had to fix that thing. I don't know how the hell it held water. I mean, I know how the tank held water, but I don't know how it supported the tank with water in it. This thing was so flimsy. I got it onto the porch and I'm like, You know, I set the tank up on top of it and I'm like, man, empty. I'm sitting here going, this ain't gonna work. So definitely fixed that before even getting it in the house. But yeah, that's probably the worst one I've ever had to do. I do have a couple stands that I despise, and that's the one for this tank right here, this little hex tank. And I have a 55 gallon in the basement. I despise both of those tanks. They are that composite crap. We want to call that particle board. So you get them wet one time, they're done. Well, this one's been wet. The other one's been wet. They're going to be done. I just need to make a new one for them. But yeah. Let's see. It's swaying with just tank, not full. Ugh. Yeah. That one needs some work. I think I would probably fix on that one. Oh man. Definitely not a game you want to play. just, I hate wobbly stands. Wobbly stands. I already dropped one tank in here one time because of that. That was when we had one of the axolotls over there in the corner. And I think we were moving... Oh, when we were bringing the saltwater tank in, we had to move these two that, you can't really see them, but there's two right next to me here. We had to move them from that wall over here. And I thought I had everything unplugged. And we had a little 10-gallon there with one of the axolotls in it. I thought I had everything unplugged, and a cord to something wrapped around the stand, which it was just a chintzy little metal stand because it was only 10-gallon, and it tugged that thing right over. Fortunately, the lotto made it, but man, I tell you what, that could have been really bad. That tank could have started to tip and hit another tank and just started a chain reaction. It's just not a game you want to play. So if you have an opportunity to fix it, that's my kneecap, thanks. Definitely want to fix it. Looks like Coro popped in. What's happening, Coro? Good seeing you. Let's see. Stop digging into my kneecap. Gabriel says, I find the DIY is the way to go if you're kind of handy. Yeah. I mean, and you can do whatever you want. If you want to make it taller, you want to make it shorter, you can do whatever you want. The possibilities are endless. If you don't want them with doors, if you want shelves instead, do it. If you want an open stand, you got it. That's anymore. Unless the tank comes with a stand, I make my own just because I can make it the way I want it. And I don't have to worry about, like with this tank, I wish this tank was at the same height as that 150 so that the FX6 would slide under here too. But it's too short. So I didn't make that stand. The guy that I bought it off of, I think, made it, or somebody he knew made it or something. But in my opinion, I mean, it looked good and it worked where it was at in his place, but here, I hate it. But in due time, I'll address that. But definitely, I agree. And it's fun. That I don't know. People come and see your tanks and they're like, oh man, if you do make a really nice stand, everybody's like, man, where'd you get that stand? I made it. It's just kind of cool showing them off. I like the Woodhead Aquatic episodes too. Show us your rack build. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the rack yet. Hopefully I get the opportunity. So is that what we're calling it now? The Woodhead Aquatics? When I'm making a stand?
Oh my. Sure.
What if I make a stand out of metal though? Which is what I was wanting to do for this one. Let's see. I don't have canisters. Try to try and fit under tanks. Well, it initially didn't start that way. It was easy getting the sump under here. All I had to do was find a low sump and then drill holes. Bore holes. That's not hard at all. But I definitely didn't think before I put that FX6 on it. No. This one's actually got both. And that little shark that's not really doing squat in there. But it's more from water movement, if anything. And it kind of filters. But I've got the FX6 on it, and then I have a sump in it as well. That was a horrible fiasco. I should have just done what I did ultimately in the beginning, and that was just put one sump in there, but trying to do two, and it went horribly wrong, and just it's one of them things. I made it harder than it should have been. So, but this one has those. That 125 has two FX6s, nothing else. But that one came with like two hang on the backs, two FX6s, two Suns, with all the filtration they had on it, and they had bad. They just didn't have any luck with fish in that tank. So I'm like, man, I'm only gonna run it with two FX6s. The rest of these filters are going elsewhere, and they did. So let's see. Looks like Clark's is on his way out. Well, you have a good night, buddy. I'm glad you popped in. Oh man. Two FX6s on a 125. That's bold. Eh. Seems to work just fine for them.
Yeah.
But the guy I got it off of had everything hooked up at once, if I'm not mistaken, which explains all the wiring and electrical sockets in the stand. But he had two aqua clear, what are those? Aqua Fluval 110 clear hang on the back filters. He had two of those. He had two of the, I'm not sure what models they are, but they're basically Sun canisters. And then he had two FX6s, and he had all this hooked up at the same time, and somehow couldn't keep fish alive, which I don't know if it was just because it was way too much, which I didn't know there was a thing. But I don't know. I don't know. What Sun do we use? I want to say it's the 503, and I have the newer one. It's like a 504 or something like that. And then there is, where are they? Aqua Clear, I think, but they're basically the same exact canister as a Sun. Same setup, even with the UV light and everything. I want to say that those are like 503s or 504s or something like that. Or unless I'm getting Fluval and Sun mixed up. But I'm pretty sure it was 504 or something like that. It's been a while. I haven't honestly had to mess with one of them in quite a long time. I should probably look at that one. Let's see. That could be. It could have been way too noisy for him. The Fluvals, the hang on the backs, I wound up giving those to Reaper. I never used them. And then I split the Suns off. I stuck one down in the basement for the pool, just to kind of help it. And then the other one I gave to my oldest daughter for her 60-gallon tank, which now has piranha in it. And it's been up there running ever since. They're really easy to work on, super low maintenance. That's what I like about them. Let's see. No way it was too much. See, and that's my thing. But I do agree with it could have been too noisy. But I believe that this gentleman may have been over-treating his aquarium. Because of the amount of chemicals that I've got from when I bought that tank, it just seems like maybe if he saw he had a problem, he went out and, I don't know, jumped on Google, searched it, and went and bought something and stuck it in the tank and didn't know it and killed him. It's one possibility that I'm thinking of, which is probably why he didn't have very good luck with it. I haven't had bad luck with it. There was one time it crashed, and that was my fault. It wasn't filtration or anything. It was me. So, it's not a cursed tank or anything. He had the LFS sell him the next solution to his problem. I think that is probably exactly what happened right there. Yep. And it's unfortunate but that happens more than people realize. You know, we see one fish with a problem, and we freak out, and it's a 150-gallon tank. I got to treat the whole fish. You know, I got to do this. I got to do that, and it's not even what you thought it was. You know, or it is. You got to go out and get in the hot tub for that. Oh yeah, hot tub would sound good right about now. I don't have. I can make one. There's an idea. Who needs a koi pond?
I do.
Oh man. Yep, someone comes in looking to spend money. Are you, as a business owner, going to turn them away? No, this is true. But at some point, I mean, I get it, but at some point, you've also got to step back morally, if those still exist anymore, and say, man, listen, you know, I don't know.
And you can do that. You can tell them what they're doing wrong until you're blue in the face, and they're going to turn around and they're going to make the same mistake.
Yeah.
I see it every day at work.
Yeah.
Every day. Some
Well,
people just don't want to listen.
I do like that hot tub idea. At this point, I just like the idea of hot water on my back.
Hot shower.
So I think I'm going to go do that. So now that I gave you guys a horrible image to think about until Friday.
That's great.
I'm glad I ruined everybody's Monday. No. Oh, man. Well, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I hope we were able to have a few laughs and whatnot. It was good getting to hang out with you guys again. I missed it last week, and it not only did it hurt, but it sucked. So, but I'm glad that I made it, and not the most comfortable thing, but I will make it for Friday night this week too. So, no more skipping weeks for me. Just not doing it. So, anyways, guys, thanks for popping in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody modding for me, thank you for helping out and doing what you do. The replay crew, I see ya. Thanks for checking it out. Everybody have a great week. Stay metal, and we'll see you for the double tap. Later.